sun is out once again. It is going to be another beautiful day around Western Washington. Get out and enjoy it. 9:14 right now. So 8% of young people say they lost out on a job opportunity because of their social media profile.
Corinne, Gregory, professional etiquette coach and founder of SocialSmarts.com, joining us to talk about what is and isn't acceptable on social media profiles. Good morning. We talk about this all the time, but still people are making mistakes. So everybody's online now, it seems like. What can we put on Facebook and social media and Twitter and all that stuff that's okay when we're in the time of applying for a job?
Well, I think in general the rule should be, Kelly, don't ever put anything on Facebook or social media that you would not feel embarrassed about if somebody confronted you. You know, it sounds a little Pollyanna-ish, but, you know, Mom always said if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. In some ways that's true, because this can come back to haunt you and frequently does.
Okay, so the study found 2/3 of people say they're not even concerned about how social media could come back and bite them. So I think that shows that a lot of people really don't take this as seriously as they should.
Mind-boggling to me. I personally know of a story, and this happened locally, where a young man was applying for a job at the local Port Authority, and he was turned down for the job, not because of what he said on Facebook, but in looking up his history and his relationship status and such. They actually found, the Port Authority officials found, that there were 2 of his Facebook friends that had criminal activity. One was incarcerated, and he didn't actually know this guy at all.
They just friended him just to acquire more friends.
Random, one of his 250 closest friends.
And so that's another word of warning. Be careful who you're associating with online.
Not just what you post.
Right, because how would they know that you aren't legitimately friends with that person? I mean, they're not going to go to all the searching of that, but people are using Facebook and social media as a way to check up on people. Absolutely.
And so a lot of people think, okay, well, mine's private, only my friends can see it, or only people I can invite, and things like that, but that's not really the case, is it?
I think that's naive. Anytime you have something written, text, email, Facebook, social media, assume it's being stored somewhere, and at some point somebody can get at it. I mean, take a look at the cell phone thing that the feds are doing right now. They're getting that information. Did you expect when you were making those phone calls that you might be checked up on? Of course not. So just assume that it's being stored, and at some point somebody can see it.
Your online life is really an extension of your personality now, and it says something about how you operate in the world. If you have a picture of yourself drinking a beer, for example, out in public, if you're using curse words online, if you're misspelling words, things like that. I mean, all these things say something about you. What should you be getting rid of if you're looking for a job, and what should you be mindful of?
Well, one of the things I tell all my clients is always assume somebody is watching, and that doesn't necessarily mean on camera. We see plenty of those on camera really embarrassing moments. Those are the ones they always show, right? But assume that somebody is always watching online as well. So be careful of your overall presence that you're projecting, because again, people have a very short period of time to make a first impression, and if that first impression is something, even if it's an aberration, one time you went out and partied and somebody got a picture, or one time you said something you shouldn't have said, that'll probably be the one time that they find it. So be careful.
Okay, so talking about when you're looking at your page and you're saying, okay, well, now I'm whatever, I'm so much wiser now, I'm older. I did that way when I was in high school, or I was in middle school, or something like that. I mentioned something a long time ago. That doesn't really count anymore either, because they can look back. Sure. How far back can they look? And so should you be going back way far, you know, if you're applying for a job, or not just applying for a job?
Well, I'm afraid at how far back they can really go. But, you know, a lot of social media, for example, Facebook has a setting where you can set on your timeline how far back or what people you want to have look at your older posts. There is actually a limit in there. So if you're currently actively looking for something, maybe you want to keep things 6 months or so behind. You don't want people to say, what have you been doing for the last 6 months? In general, even if there is nothing negative. I don't want people stalking my Facebook timeline.
So we were saying 8% of young people say they lost out on a job opportunity because of something they posted online. What percentage of employers are checking this stuff when they're looking at a potential employee?
I don't think they've done studies on that, so I personally don't know. But as far as this 8% is concerned, I think those are only the 8% who are aware and have reported it. I think it happens a lot more often than we realize.
So quick fix, what can we do today to kind of clean it up?
Go back and take a look at your Facebook pages, take a look at your postings, take a look at what you've done, and go clean it up if you're not comfortable with it. If you think somebody's going to take this in a negative light, why not delete it?
Yeah,
it's
check
not necessary, right?
Not just Facebook, too, Twitter and all of them.
Everything, and your emails. take a look at your emails.
All right, Corinne Gregory with the socialsmarts.com program. Thank you so much. And for more information on what she does, head to socialsmarts.com. And also her new book, It's Not Who You Know, It's How You Treat Them. That's available now on Amazon.